Have you ever felt that you carry something bigger inside you? Something you can't even explain? What if I told you that this is not just intuition, that there is a divine force hidden in its sign, recognized by one of the greatest spiritual prophets of history? Urgent. The hidden records of Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, were finally translated and interpreted, and what they reveal will shake everything you think about astrology, soul, and destiny. According to Cayce, 5 signs were spiritually marked with a sacred mission, a direct connection with higher plans, with the own codes of the universe. These signs are not common. They were chosen even before birth to carry a mystical power, which vibrates in the soul and manifests itself through dreams, feeling, extreme empathy, and spiritual sensitivity. Maybe you are one of them, or maybe know someone who carries this energy. And if this is awakening something inside you now, it is no coincidence. You have been attracted here by a call, because this video is not just information, it's a portal, a revelation that was designed to reach you right now. What Cayce left written between his spiritual visions was kept silent for decades. Now finally, the time has come to bring these hidden secrets to light. Prepare, because in the next few minutes you will find out what are the 5 signs that carry the divine power within the soul, and how to recognize the invisible signs that confirm this heavenly call. And if you have had that inexplicable feeling of not belonging to this world, keep here. What comes now is for you. So, before revealing what these 5 signs are chosen, I want to ask you something very important. If, at some point so far, you have felt a shiver, if your heart has accelerated, or if any part of you whispered, "This message is for me," comment now down here. I feel the call. This simple phrase may seem small, but it activates something bigger, a commitment to its spiritual essence. And don't stop there. Leaving your comment is not just engagement, it's an energy seal. It is as if you say to the universe, "I recognize who I am." Also, when commenting, you inspire other souls that are also looking for answers, creating a spiritual current that strengthens everyone who gets here. It also takes the opportunity to leave your like right now, because it makes the algorithm deliver this video to more people who need to receive this urgent revelation. Yes, you can be an awakening channel to someone. And if you are not yet inscribed, now click on signing up and activates the bell, because this is just the beginning of a series of deep revelations that will directly touch your spirit. This channel is more than videos about signs. It is a portal for those who feel that it has a hidden mission, a connection with the invisible, an unveiled truth. And it all starts with this step. Comment, enjoy, subscribe, because now you are part of the chosen ones who are ready to remember who they really are. And if so far you have felt that something inside you have awakened, wait only until you hear who the 5 signs loaded with divine power are. The next name may be yours. Have you ever felt that the world around you walks a different frequency than yours? As if the people around you live with their eyes closed, while you see something beyond what you can explain? That feeling of being born with a mission, even if you still don't know exactly what it is, of carrying a kind of force that sometimes looks more like a burden, but deep down you know it's a gift. Perhaps it is difficult to explain to others. You may have learned to shut up, to hide, but even in silence, his spirit pulsates with something that comes from afar, something old, something sacred. There are people who live just existing, and there are those who live feeling, that they present, who goosebumps to hear certain words, who have dreams so real that they look like messages, who cry out of nowhere and don't even know why. People who look at the sky and feel that he is responding. People who see signs in everything, in repeated numbers, in unexpected encounters, in words that arise at the exact time. This is not crazy. This is spiritual sensitivity. This is the call. And if you are here now listening to this, maybe your spirit is reacting because you recognize this truth. You feel the pains of the world as if they were yours. Sometimes you think it's broken, when it's actually just carrying a sensitivity that most people haven't woken up yet. He feels something is coming, even without proof, as if a change were at the lurking. And no matter how long it goes, this feeling won't leave. It is as if your soul already knew something that your mind is still trying to understand. You are not alone. And especially, you are not Arad. Some signs were marked with a higher spiritual frequency. They are not better, no more special in the ego, but they are channels. They are portals. They are live transmitters of messages from the invisible. These people, perhaps you are one of them, were prepared even before they are born to be headlights in times of darkness. They carry a divine connection within themselves, an ancestral code, a gift that cannot be taught but can be remembered. And that's why you feel everything so intensely, because your soul is old and your journey is not common. A while ago, the messages came from dreams. Then, by books, intuitions, meetings. Now they come through content like this, because the universe uses all means to reach those who are ready. And if you feel you are being called for this video, don't fight it. Receive, listen, allow yourself to dive into what will be revealed, even if it seems strange at first, because the deepest truths don't shout, they whisper, and only those who are attentive can listen. Have you noticed that in times of intense pain, something inside you remains silent, as if a top is watching everything with serenity? It is this part that Edgar Cayce spoke, the divine part, the sacred spark that remains untouched even when everything seems to collapse. Cayce said that there are people who came to the world with natural psychic gifts, directly connected to the spiritual plane, and that astrology, when seen from the soul's look, reveals much more than personality characteristics. It reveals spiritual strains, hidden missions, dormant gifts, and divine seals. And among all signs, 5 stand out, not by the external force but by the intensity of the soul. These are signs that carry the scars of the world, and at the same time the power of healing. They are misunderstood, often judged, tested early, but they are also protected by invisible forces. When they follow their truth, doors open. But when they try to fit in, everything seems to crash. Because they didn't come to follow the flow. They came to break standards, to activate sleeping spiritual memories in other people. And maybe you have already done this without even realizing it, just with your presence. You are not weak for feeling too much. It is not exaggerated because it is affected by things that others ignore. You are only more awake, more connected, more tuned to subtle plans. And the more you try to fit into a low-frequency vibration world, the more distant from yourself you feel. But there is a reason for that. A reason that will be revealed today, finding out if your sign is among the 5 who carry, according to Edgar Cayce, the mark of divine power. And before continuing, I want to ask you something special. If so far some word has touched your soul, if any part of yours has felt viewed, welcomed, understood, write in the comments, "I carry this strength." It's not just a sentence, it's an activation. It is like sealing an agreement with the universe. And if you want to go further, you also share your sign, because perhaps your name is among Cayce's chosen ones. Leave your like if this is already making sense inside you. Subscribe, because the next revelations will further deepen this call. And remember, when you enjoy and comment, you help other souls find this content. You become a light channel, a messenger, a sacred link. And now, let's dive into the names. Are you ready to find out if your sign carries the divine seal? Now, if at some point in this video you felt something inside you wake up, if the words played a pain that you might not even know you carried, then I want to make you a very special invitation. I want to invite you to download your digital book, The 7 Hidden Spiritual Wounds of Your Zodiac Sign and How to Cure Them Before 2026. This book reveals what traditional astrology never had the courage to show, that each sign carries invisible wounds, emotional, energetic, spiritual marks that shape your fate, your relationships, your failures. Explain, but you feel. How if you were being called for a long time? Inside. If this is your case, do not ignore this call. The link to download the book is in the first comment fixed, but attention, access is limited. This content will be removed from the air soon. If you are here now, it is because this may be the time to understand your pain and start your release. Click on the first fixed comment and start these signs. They were not born to live a common life. They were not programmed to follow generic rules, repeat patterns, please everyone, or seek validation where there is no truth. They feel that there is something different on their journey, and this different does not come from chance. It comes from a choice prior to life, a silent preparation that began long before birth. Our soul's cue. They carry a unique spiritual signature, and this signature vibrates with intensity at the most difficult times, when everything seems to crumble and the world offers no answers. The truth is that these people never had the path facilitated. There has always been a more depth layer in everything they live. While others cry for a reason, they cry for 1,000. While others get up after a fall, they are tested, pushed, and crushed until they are reborn. But it is precisely in this renaissance that the code is activated. Because the pain did not come as punishment, it came as a tool, as a secret language. And those who feel it deeply must understand. Pain is the sacred language of the soul that was chosen. Chosen for what? To illuminate, to break, to guide. But that doesn't happen linearly. It is not the type of mission that presents itself with a manual, a script, and absolute certainty. No, the spiritual mission that lives within these signs is slowly revealed, a layer, trial by trial. And so many feel lost, even rejected by the universe, when they are actually just being forged, shaped by the invisible, reflecting light in the shadow, including its own. These signs carry within the soul such an old force that scares others and sometimes themselves. And so they often try to repress this intensity, pretend they don't feel so much, adapt, shrink. They become small to fit in a world that was not made for them. But the soul screams, because it can no longer bear to live anesthetized. And the pain comes again like a reminder. Wake up. You are not here to survive. It is here to activate forgotten codes. He is here to guide others back to his own essence. The pain is actually the gate, the initiation, the spiritual baptism of the chosen ones. Every tear you poured in silence, each time he felt dislocated, misunderstood, invisible, each time he endured loads that were not his own, but felt like they were. None of this was for nothing. Everything is part of a divine architecture that is being revealed in layers. And now you are facing another piece of this spiritual puzzle. What is to come can finally help you understand why your life never fell into the formulas of others. And that's why Edgar Cayce warned, there are those who walk between us with an open heart to both worlds, the visible and the invisible. They are common people in the eyes of matter, but who carry an unusual energy within themselves. They are touched by strong intuitions, constant synchronicities, sensitivity that does not seem to fit this time. But this is exactly what confirms. They do not belong to this time only. They are here as a bridge, as a channel, as a reflection of the sacred. And the sacred, as you know, is never delivered to anyone. He is entrusted to those who have the courage to endure more, feel more, live deeper, even when it seems that no one is seeing, even when everything looks in vain. But there is an invisible reward for these souls. Consciousness awakens, one that no longer arrested appearances, empty rules, or external expectations. The one who understands that every pain was an invitation, each fall an initiation, each scar a code. And now all this can be used as a key to something bigger. Because when pain finds purpose, it becomes power. And this power is spiritual, it's silent, it is immensely strong, and mainly it is sacred. You may have felt it many times, a force that insists on lifting you, even when you have already abandoned yourself. An inner voice that whispers, it's not over yet. There's something big waiting for you. You may have even tried to escape this call, get distracted, conform, but he comes back, always come back, because it doesn't come from outside. It is born inside you, and he is connected to his deepest spiritual essence, the one that Edgar Cayce said that only awakens at specific times of the journey. And now, right now, it can be one of these activation points. It may be the moment when something inside you aligns, fits, and makes sense again. That's why I want to ask you something simple but powerful. If at some point in this video you felt that I was describing your soul, not your personality, not your behaviors, but something deeper, older, comment now. My pain awakened me. Write this phrase as a spiritual seal, as a silent recognition that your journey has a greater reason. And if you haven't left the like yet, that's the moment. It is not just for boosting the video. It serves as a symbol of energy agreement, as if you were saying, I recognize this truth within me. And if you haven't signed up yet, do it now, because the next revelations go even deeper. And if you are here, it is because your soul is ready for what comes to secuir. Don't waste more time living with this burden. Guarantee now your digital book, The 7 Hidden Spiritual Wounds of Your Zodiac Sign and How to Heal Them Before 2026, and find out how to apply these powerful teachings in your daily life. Attention! The stock is limited and is running out quickly. Click now and start your journey towards the trust you deserve. According to Edgar Cayce, considered the greatest intuitive prophet of the last century, there were spiritual records that were never revealed to the general public, not because they were secret in the human sense, but because they could only be understood by those who were ready. And if you have come here, if you are feeling this call vibrate in your chest, it is a sign that your soul is in tune with something that has been planned for a long time. Cayce said that among the thousands of astral maps, there were 5 signs that brought within themselves a spiritual seal, a type of brand that can only be identified by those who observe, beyond the surface, beyond the common personality. These signs are not just signs. They are living portals between the earthly world and the upper plans. In his readings, many made in a state of deep trance, Cayce described repetitive patterns between people who shared not only traces of behavior, but also spiritual phenomena, prophetic dreams, unusual energy sensitivity, constant sense of displacement of the world, and a deep connection to the invisible. He claimed that these souls were not here for the first time or for the second. They were here on mission, and more than that, they carried in their energetic field fragments of a higher consciousness, fragments of ancient wisdom, memories that did not come from physical DNA, but from the Akashic Record, what the ancients called the Book of the Soul. Cayce believed that these 5 signs were used by higher spiritual intelligences as refined cosmic energy receptacles. In other words, while most people live guided by instincts and conditioning of matter, these signs carry a direct connection with the spirit, a pulsating connection that warns, which guides, and even when they ignore, even when they move away from themselves, something always pulls them back, as an invisible magnet trying to align the human with the divine, a memory that manifests itself through pain, silence, inexplicable encounters, repetitive signs, intuitions that cannot be ignored. It is as if these souls had accepted, in another plane, the challenge of being anchors of light in a dense reality. But when they arrived here, they completely forgot about this agreement, and that's why they go through so many tests. Because each challenge is actually an attempt by the universe to reactivate the memory, and when this memory wakes up, nothing more will be as before. Cayce said that these beings illuminate even in the dark, even when they don't realize. Its presence alters the field. His word activates the soul of others. Her pain is not just personal, she is collective. They feel the world, so they carry the world. It is not uncommon for people of these signs to be those who everyone seeks when they need advice, even if they are in crangles inside. They are those who comfort others in the midst of their own chaos, that intake betrayals before they happen, that hear the voice of the other beyond the words said, who cry for things no one understands. They wake up in the middle of the night with pretendant visions, inexplicable feelings. They know, they always knew, but they doubt. And they doubt because the world has tried all the time to convince them that feeling too much is weakness, that perceiving beyond is crazy. But now, right now, Cayce whispers over time, you are neither crazy nor weak. You are a channel, and this channel needs to be protected. He needs to be honored, because what goes through you is not common. It is not from this world. And the more you try to live like others, the more you will feel that something is wrong. Not because there is something wrong with you, but because you were not born to follow the standard. You were designed to break, to guide, to heal, and your pain is not a curse. It is a reminder, a spiritual password that activates its true mission. These 5 signs, according to Cayce, represent 5 faces of divine wisdom manifested on earth, each with its own code, each with its own type of pain, power, intuition, each being used as a spiritual tool for playing lives, opening paths and restoring the lost connection between the human and the sacred. And if you are one of them, this is no chance. It is called, it is destination. It is a return to what has always been inside you, waiting for the right time to be remembered. And if something inside you is reacting to all this, if your body shivered, if your eyes have filled with tears, if your heart has squeezed or accelerated, then you need to leave this moment recorded. Write in the comments, I am a channel between worlds. This phrase is not just symbolic. It energetically confirms what is already awakening within you. And if you haven't left the like yet, do it now. It's not just a form of video support. It's an act of recognition, a gesture of spiritual presence. Subscribe to the channel because what is being revealed here is part of a sequence. Each video is a new layer being removed. Each word, a mirror, and every connection you feel now. It's just the beginning. What comes next will open even more the doors of your soul. Let's continue. Your sign may be among them. Don't waste more time living with this burden. Guarantee now your digital book, The 7 Hidden Spiritual Wounds of Your Zodiac Sign, and how to heal them before 2026, and find out how to apply these powerful teachings in your daily life. Attention, the stock is limited and is running out quickly. Click now and start your journey towards the trust you deserve. And now, we have reached the most anticipated part of this, prophetic revelation. The part where the veils begin to fall and where the names of the 5 signs chosen, according to Edgar Cayce's spiritual views, are finally revealed. These signs were not selected at random. They vibrate at specific frequencies, carry a unique spiritual signature, and each plays an essential role in the balance between the worlds. They are like energy pillars, connecting the physical plane to the subtle plane, bringing to the earth fragments of divine consciousness that the world has forgotten. And if you belong to one of these signs, or if you have these dominant energies on your map, you need to hear it carefully and with an open heart, because this knowledge is not just informative, it is activating. The first sign chosen is Scorpio, and it couldn't be different. Scorpion is the guardian of spiritual portals. It carries within the soul the code of Renaissance, symbolic death, deep healing. People in this sign not only cross pain, they become for it. They are alchemists of their own existence. They are those that go down to the depths of the shadow, not to get lost, but to rescue parts of what was forgotten. Edgar Cayce said that Scorpio is one of the most connected signs with hidden plans, and that his intuitions do not come from thought, come from the spirit. Those born under this sign is marked by intensity, the emotional depth, and the mission of transmuting pain into wisdom. Even when the world tries to label him as dangerous or too mysterious, he remains what was born to be, a channel between the end and the beginning. Scorpio does not die. He is reborn, always. The second sign chosen is Fish, the channel of divine revelations. Fish does not only live in this world, lives among worlds. It is the only sign capable of dissolving completely in the energy of the other, of the collective, of the universal soul. Edgar Cayce spoke of Fish like a spiritual mirror, the one who feels what others do not feel, who captures messages through dreams, who present tragedies, joys, changes. There is no logic in the gift of Fish. There is raw, open, powerful sensitivity. Fish sees with the eyes of the spirit, and is therefore often confused with someone distracted, disconnected. But the truth is that he is seeing what no one else sees. Pisces is medium, intuitive, direct channel of the symbolic language of the universe. And your mission is not fitting. It is to remind others that there is something bigger behind everything, and that true love, the healing, is still possible. The third sacred name on this list is Leo, the bearer of spiritual sunlight. Many see Leo as a sign of brightness, leadership, presence, but what few understand is that this glow is not only human, it is divine. Edgar Cayce saw in Leo a warrior of luz, someone who carries in his heart a sun capable of warming souls frozen by pain. Leo is noble not for vanity, but for essence. When he lives at his high frequency, he doesn't seek attention. He guides. It protects. He inspires. And your spiritual mission is to lead by example, show the way, use your light to illuminate the darkness of those who have not yet awakened. Leo is chosen to sustain the living flame of courage, faith, and true self, love. And even when everyone gives up, he remains standing, because you know that your presence has a greater purpose, and fulfills this purpose with dignity. The fourth sign is Virgin, the silent curator. Perhaps the most misunderstood of the 5, Virgin does not need spotlight to manifest his spiritual power. Your gift is in the details, in accuracy, in the purity of intent. Edgar Cayce described Virgin as a channel of the divine order on earth, someone who feels when something is misleading and incessantly seeks to restore balance. Its sensitivity is refined, almost scientific, and that is why Virgin is often labeled as critical or perfectionist. But what is behind it is an inner calling for spiritual excellence. Virgin has a healing gift that acts on body, mind, and soul. And your mission is to organize, clean, align, turn chaos into harmony. Through simple gestures, precise words, and a practical intuition, Virgin restores what many do not even know is broken. It serves the divine with humility, and is therefore one of the most valuable. The fifth and last of the chosen is Sagittarius, the heavenly messenger. He carries in words the gift of crossing dimensions. Sagittarius is the arrow that points up, who seeks the sky even with his feet on earth. Edgar Cayce via Sagittarius as the spiritual seeker par excellence. That restless soul that is not content with easy answers, that travels in internal and external worlds in search of the free truth. Sagittarius not only speaks, he channels. Your words are often, and his joy, his passion for life, his hunger for freedom are in fact manifestations of a soul that has proved the taste of superior wisdom. Sagittarius's spiritual mission is to teach, expand, bring light, where there is ignorance. But more than that, it is keeping the flame of hope alive, even at the darker moments. Now that you heard each of these names, I invite you to reflect. Any of them spoke straight to you? Did any of these descriptions seem to write your story without you having to say a word? If so, leave it in the comments. I carry this mission. Or write the name of your sign followed by the phrase, I am one of the chosen ones. This kind of comment is not just engagement, it's energy. It is a public ritual of spiritual recognition. And if you haven't enjoyed this video yet, enjoy it now. You are vibrating with these words for a reason. And if you haven't signed up yet, do that. Because what comes next will take you even deeper on this mystical journey. And your spirit already knows that. Don't waste more time living with this burden. Guarantee now your digital book, The 7 Hidden Spiritual Wounds of Your Zodiac Sign, and How to Heal Them Before 2026, and find out how to apply these powerful teachings in your daily life. Attention! The stock is limited and is running out quickly. Click now and start your journey towards the trust you deserve. Perhaps, while you heard the names of these 5 signs chosen, something inside you started to pulse differently. Perhaps it has felt a light shriery, almost imperceptible, that climbed through the spine without explanation. Maybe you remembered a dream you had days, weeks, or years ago, and it seemed just strange. But now, it begins to make sense. Or perhaps you simply felt as if these words were being spoken directly to you, as if everything that has been described so far spoke of your part, that never knew how to express yourself, but has always been there. These sensations are not random. They are not coincidences. They are signs of spiritual activation. These are internal codes that begin to respond when they come into contact with truths that your soul already knows, even if your mind is still trying to understand. Those chosen by this divine call feel things differently. They do not need rational evidence because the body speaks. The spirit responds. The vibration changes. Breathing slows down or accelerates. Time seems to stop for a second. And in this brief space, something aligns. Something awakens. Have you ever had the feeling of being in a place for the first time but knowing exactly what was going to happen there? Have you ever dreamed of people you've never seen, but did you feel as if you have known them for centuries? Have you ever made a shiver to hear a song, a sentence, a word that played at some invisible point of your being, already looked at the sky, or inside, and had that indescribable feeling that you are not just here? All of this are clues, signs that arise throughout your lifetime to remember who you are, and especially who you came to be. There are times when you feel you need to get away from the noise of the world, and this is not weakness, it is a need for reconnection. Spiritually awakened people need silence, nature, books, dreams, intuition, time to digest everything they absorb, and absorb a lot, because these beings, linked by this spiritual mission, are extremely empathic. They feel the pain of the other without the other saying one word. They often carry the weight of the environment where they are, capture hidden intentions. They perceive dense energies. They know when someone is lying, even without proof, and that exhausts them. But it also differentiates them. They are the first to notice when something is out of place, even if it is at vibrational level. They are those who often warn others before something happens. And when they try to explain, they hear, "You're exaggerated. This is paranoia. It's no longer sensitive." But time goes by, and what they felt happens. And yet, they doubt themselves. This is common among the chosen ones. They have gifts that are not always understood by those who live only on the material plane, and often they doubt their own sensitivity until they begin to remember. Remember that déjà vu are more than coincidences, that voice that warned them not to go a specific way was spiritual protection. That synchronicity that seemed just curious, such as seeing hours constantly equal or finding people at the exact right time, are forms of the universe signal that they are being guided. That lucid dreams were not just dreams, but messages, and that feeling that something will happen, it is not just feeling, it is spiritual intelligence in action, and maybe you got used to hiding it all, silent, rationalizing to fit. But at this moment, this exact second, your body is remembering, your soul is reacting, because this message came to you not by chance but by alignment. Because when content like this comes in your way and you feel deeply touched, it is not entertainment, it is awakening. And the more you feel, the more things make sense, because those who are called do not need to understand everything at once. You just need to recognize, to accept, allow yourself to feel. You may have spent a lifetime trying to adjust, trying to be more normal, trying to shut up this sensitivity that always seemed too much to others. But now you know, this sensitivity is not weakness, it is spiritual radar. It is part of the gift. It is part of your soul's contract. And this contract, silent and invisible, now begins to be remembered. You are not here by chance, not even watching this video by chance. You are here because it was time to remember. And if you felt that, if any part of this video has described you accurately, if you recognized your story, your feelings, your invisible journey between the lines of what you've heard here, comment now. I recognize these signs. Writes with intention, as if you are signing something inside you. And if you want to go further, share the strongest signal you've ever felt. A dream, a warning, a feeling, a déjà vu. Your comment can activate other souls who are still trying to understand what they feel. It may be the missing piece for someone to recognize themselves as well. Like this video, if it touched your truth. If he brought answers you never heard but always sought. This not only helps more people find this content, but energetically confirms their presence here. And if you haven't signed up yet, now it's the time. Because the next revelations will further deepen this path. And if you felt, you know, this is your place. Don't waste more time living with this burden. Guarantee now your digital book, The 7 Hidden Spiritual Wounds of Your Zodiac Sign and How to Heal Them Before 2026, and find out how to apply these powerful teachings in your daily life. Attention, the stock is limited and is running out quickly. Click now and start your journey towards the trust you deserve. But there is something you need to know, something that is often not said clearly, but needs to be seriously remembered. Because every soul that carries a spiritual call also carries a deep responsibility with its own essence. And when this essence is ignored, silenced, or muffled for too long, the consequences do not manifest themselves only in the outside world. They reverberate directly in the energy field, body, emotions, and even destination. There is a type of pain that does not come from outside, but from within, a pain that settles slowly, such as a kind of existential emptiness, a loss of direction, a constant unnamed anguish and without apparent cause. This pain is the most evident symptom that the soul has been dormant. And what causes this sleeping? The forgetfulness, the abandonment of the mission, the betrayal of the inner truth itself. When one of the chosen ones ignores the signs of the universe, he moves away from his own sensitivity, adapts too much to a system that does not vibrate at its frequency. The universe simply stops responding. The signs cease. Synchronics decrease. Dreams lose the color. The messages disappear, not because the universe has given up, but because it respects its free will. The choice of silencing one's soul is respected by the spiritual forces that guide you, but it has a price, and the price is the distancing of what keeps you alive inside. Have you ever felt that way? As if everything had lost the brightness? As if things were happening only in the automatic? As if the world was working, but you were no longer really there, whole, present, aligned? This is not spiritual depression. This is a silent warning that your spirit is shouting for reconnection. When the soul is active, everything gains depth. You feel purpose in the little things. You listen to the hidden messages. You find meaning in what others ignore. But when Alma falls asleep, everything becomes shallow, confused, disconnected. And the truth is that the longer you spend away from your mission, the harder it is to remember who you were before you start getting lost. There's a very thin line between living in peace and living in conformity, and the chosen ones feel this more than anyone. They have the ability to adjust to any environment, but this adjustment charges a high price, because every time a chosen silence your intuition to please, it nullifies your gift to fit or repress your voice so as not to disturb. It is unknowingly turning out a part of the light itself, and this light is unique, irrepeatable, irreplaceable. Edgar Cayce said, "The universe sends soft invitations at first, a shiver, a dream, a déjà vu, a strong feeling of being in the right place at the right time. But if these invitations are ignored, the call intensifies. Life begins to mess what was too organized. People leave, paths close, apparently stable situations collapse, not as punishment, but as realignment, because the universe sometimes needs to take the floor so you remember looking up, so that you stop going in the direction that removes you from your spiritual origin. And right now you may be feeling this realignment. You may be living losses you don't understand, waging silent internal battles, or feeling a constant restlessness, as if something is about to happen. This sensation is not illusion. It is the presence of the call. It is the attempt of the universe of shaking you inside. Because when you remember, you wake up. And when you wake up, the mission takes up the place that has always been yours. She doesn't disappear. She just expects. Ask for passage. But if ignored for a long time, it begins to charge in subtler or more intense ways. And that is the alert. The spiritual alert does not come with thunder or apocalyptic prophecy. It comes in the form of disconnection, of chronic anxiety, of inexplicable dissatisfaction, of bad nights, feeling of emptiness, of endless cycles. Come like a whisper saying, "You are forgetting who you are." And the more you make this encounter with your essence, the harder it is to hear it again. Because the soul doesn't scream, she shuts up, and the silence of the soul is the greatest dangers. So if you feel you have ignored your signs, moving away from your spirituality, your sensitivity, your inner connection, this video came to you as a reminder, a call to come back, to resume the way, to forgive and start, wherever you are, reconnecting the invisible wires that connect you to your true purpose. And no matter how long it has passed, how many mistakes you made, how many times doubted or hidden, the soul does not hold a grudge. She just expects, silent, you knew, patient, and now perhaps she is whispering again in her heart. If you felt that this stretch spoke to you, if any part of yours woke up right now, comment now. I will never betray my essence again. Write this phrase with truth, firmly, with intention. Let her be a seal between you and your soul. And if you feel you need to reinforce this decision, also write what you will start doing from now on to reconnect yourself. It can be small. Meditate, write, silence, pray, walk alone. Look more inside. Your comment may be the first step for this resumption. Like this video if it helped you remember. If he made sense to you on some deep level. The like you leave is not just external support, it's a vibrational confirmation. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is the right time. Because from now on, we will further deepen the mysteries of the soul, the spiritual mission of the signs, the gifts that were forgotten, and the paths that lead you back to what is sacred. If you felt, then follow. Don't waste more time living with this burden. Guarantee now your digital book, The 7 Hidden Spiritual Wounds of Your Zodiac Sign and How to Heal Them Before 2026, and find out how to apply these powerful teachings in your daily life. Attention, the stock is limited and is running out quickly. Click now and start your journey towards the trust you deserve. If you got here, if you are still with me right now, it is because your soul has recognized the truth of these words. This is not just a video, and you know that. What happened here was more than information. It was activation. You have been remembered, perhaps subtly, perhaps in a ravatory way, but something has been touched inside you, and once touched, it can no longer be ignored, because there are truths that do not go through the mind, but cross the field of soul directly. And when that happens, the body feels, the heart responds, the spirit aligns itself, and the call becomes clear. Throughout this way we followed together, you have been recognizing parts of yours that might not even know how to name it before, He remembered signs, sensations, intuitions that seemed isolated but now form a whole, an invisible map that points to the same place, the return to your spiritual mission. And this mission does not start outside. It requires nothing but what you already have. It starts inside. It starts with your choice to accept what has always been there, but now you are stronger, lighter, more alive. Because you are no longer alone, it's conscious. And when a soul awakes, it attracts others that are ready too. This is why your ways intersect with content like this. This is why certain words echo so deeply as if they had been written exactly for you. And maybe they were. Perhaps you have asked for this sign in silence, in a forgotten prayer, in a moment of pain, and the universe answered. He always responds, sometimes with dreams, sometimes with meetings, sometimes with videos like this, because the universe always finds a way of reaching its chosen ones. Always. Now that you are here, awake, conscious, ready to see yourself more clearly, there is only one possible step. Honor this awakening, and it starts with small rituals, simple acts, but loaded with energy and intention. And the first one is to publicly recognize what your soul has already recognized in silence. So if you felt that this video spoke directly to the most sacred in you, comment now, I accept my divine call. This phrase is not symbolic. She is energetic. She is a seal, an agreement between you and the mission that brought you here. And when commenting, also write your sign, because I want to know how many of each energy are awakening now. Let's gather these souls. Let's show the universe and ourselves that we are no longer dispersed, no asleep. We are coming back. And this return is not noisy. It is firm. It's deep. It's true. And if you know someone who is Bull, Aquarium, or Cancer, someone who lives in silence your sensitivity, who feels too much, who carries a weight that does not know where it comes from, send this video to that person. Send it now, because maybe she's also waiting for this call and just need a touch to remember. Be that channel. Be that link. Be part of this spiritual movement that is happening here, in every soul that is watching, in every word that has been said with purpose. Like this video if he talked to you. And it's not just by engagement, it is by vibration. Your like is like a silent yes that resonates with frequency, with what was awakened in you. It signals the universe that you are present, active, available. And if you are not subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now, because what you lived here is just the beginning. In the next video, we will reveal something even deeper, the spiritual mission of the signs rejected by the world, those who were forgotten, misunderstood, underestimated, but who hide within themselves the spark that can transform everything. If you stayed with me here, open heart and soul vibrating, know that it was not by chance. Those who remain until the end carries a rare frequency, an energy that resonates with deep truths, the spiritual pursuit, with the awakening of the divine mission. Now is the time to seal this connection. Subscribe to the channel right now because your journey doesn't end here. She is just beginning. And in the next videos, we will reveal even more spiritual mysteries, hidden gifts, and truths that they were waiting to be remembered by you. Comment here below. I arrived until the end, and I'm ready for the next revelation. This phrase is like a portal. It shows that you are not just spectator, you are part of it. You are present. It's awake. It's ready. And of course, leave your like if something inside you has been touched, activated, awakened by this message. Your like shows the universe and the algorithm that this content is important, necessary, and that you need to reach more people like you. And now, look at the left side of your screen. The next video is already waiting for you. Click on it. The energy continues. The mission continues. The next step of your awakening is a click away. Let's go together.